Have you ever wondered why some people make you feel seen, heard, and understood, while others leave you feeling empty after a conversation? What's their secret? Hello, welcome to D-Quotes, and today we're diving deep into one of the most powerful yet overlooked skills in human connection: listening. Through Kate Murphy's insightful book, You're Not Listening, we'll explore why we're losing this vital skill and how to reclaim it. Picture this: you're sharing something important with a friend. Mid-sentence, they pull out their phone, give a quick aha, and continue scrolling. How does that make you feel? In her groundbreaking research, Kate Murphy discovered that this scenario isn't just annoying, it's becoming our new normal. We're living in what she calls a listening crisis. Think about it. When was the last time you felt truly heard? Not just someone waiting for their turn to speak, but really listening to understand you. Let me share a story from the book that struck me. Murphy describes a conversation with a CIA operative who revealed that their most valuable intelligence never came from sophisticated interrogation techniques. Instead, it came from simply listening, creating a space where people felt heard and understood. The author points out several fascinating reasons why listening has become so rare. First, there's our addiction to distraction. The average person checks their phone 110 times per day. That's 110 interruptions to deep listening. Second, we're suffering from what Murphy calls conversational narcissism. Here's how it typically plays out. Person A: I'm really worried about my job security. Person B: oh, I know exactly what you mean. Last year. Sound familiar? We've all done it. We think we're showing empathy by sharing our experiences, but often we're just hijacking the conversation. Third, we're afraid of silence. Murphy shares an interesting observation from her research. Americans typically become uncomfortable with conversational silence after just 4 seconds. 4 seconds, yet, some of the most profound moments of connection happen in these quiet spaces. Here's something fascinating from the book: when we truly listen, our brainwaves actually sync with the speakers. Scientists call this neural coupling. It's like a beautiful dance between minds. Murphy interviewed Dr. Sarah Newman, a neuroscientist, who explains it this way: when two people are truly engaged in a conversation, their brain activity begins to mirror each other. It's as if they're creating a shared mental world. Let me share 3 powerful stories from the book about exceptional listeners. Story 1. The Emergency Room Doctor. Dr. Maria Santos wasn't the most experienced doctor in the but she had the lowest rate of misdiagnosis. Her secret: she listened differently. While other doctors interrupted patients after an average of 11 seconds, she waited 90 seconds before speaking. This simple change led to more accurate diagnoses and better patient outcomes. Story 2. The Master Negotiator. George Mitchell, who helped broker peace in Northern Ireland, attributes his success not to clever tactics, but to listening. He spent months just listening to both sides, making them feel truly heard before any negotiations began. Story 3. The Revolutionary Teacher. A high school teacher in Brooklyn transformed her failing class by implementing listening circles. Students who were once labeled problematic began to excel when they finally felt heard. Murphy presents some sobering statistics. -60% of workplace mistakes are due to poor listening. 85% of what we've learned has come through listening. The average person remembers only 25% of what they hear. But the real cost isn't in statistics, it's in human connection. Every time we fail to listen, we miss an opportunity for deeper understanding, stronger relationships, and personal growth. Now, let's talk about practical ways to become a better listener. Murphy offers several powerful techniques. 1. The switch-off technique. First, literally switch off your phone, not just silence it off. Murphy shares how this simple act changes the entire dynamic of a conversation. One executive she interviewed saw his team's productivity double after implementing phone-free meetings. 2. The 3-second rule. Wait 3 seconds before responding to someone. This tiny pause accomplishes 2 things. It ensures the other person has finished their thought. It shows you're actually considering what they've said. 3. The curiosity mindset. Approach every conversation with genuine curiosity. Murphy suggests pretending you're a detective, looking for clues and asking questions like, "What was that like for you? How did that make you feel? What happened next?" Let's explore how to apply these skills in different situations. Professional setting. Murphy describes how good listeners make better leaders. She shares the story of Alan Mulally, who turned around Ford Motor Company not through brilliant strategy, but through creating a culture of listening. He made it safe for executives to share bad news and ask for help. Personal relationships. The book highlights how listening can transform personal relationships. One couple on the brink of divorce saved their marriage through a simple exercise, taking turns speaking for 10 minutes while the other person just listened. No interrupting, no advice giving. Social situations. At parties or networking events, Murphy suggests focusing on asking questions rather than thinking about what to say next. She shares the story of an introvert who became known as the life of the party simply by being the best listener in the room. One of the most moving stories in the book is about Sarah, a hospice nurse. She found that her most valuable tool wasn't medical knowledge, it was listening. She shares how simply sitting and listening to dying patients not only eased their passing, but gave their lives final meaning. Let's go through some exercises Murphy recommends. The listening diary. For 1 week, keep track of your listening habits. Note when you interrupt. Record when your mind wanders. Write down what triggers distraction. The silent partner exercise. In your next conversation, challenge yourself to ask 3 questions before sharing anything about yourself. Maintain eye contact 80% of the time. Notice when you start formulating your response instead of listening. The reflection practice. Before responding, paraphrase what you've heard, so what you're saying is, "Let me make sure I understand. It sounds like." Murphy dedicates a fascinating chapter to how technology affects our listening. She notes that the average adult spends 11 hours daily consuming electronic media. We're developing shorter attention spans. We're losing the ability to handle silence, but there's hope. She shares stories of people who've reclaimed their listening ability. A tech CEO who implements tech-free Tuesdays. A family that has device-free dinners. A school that teaches digital detox skills. Some of the greatest innovations came from listening. Murphy shares examples how Uber started because someone really listened to people's taxi complaints. How Airbnb succeeded by listening to both hosts and guests. How Netflix transformed by listening to changing viewer habits. As we wrap up, Murphy leaves us with a powerful thought. In an increasingly disconnected world, listening is becoming a superpower. Those who master it will build stronger relationships, advance further in their careers, find deeper meaning in life, create more impact in their communities. Remember, listening isn't just about being quiet while others talk. It's about creating space for understanding, building bridges between hearts and minds, finding wisdom in other people's experiences, growing as a human being. As Kate Murphy beautifully puts it, listening is about being present, not just being quiet. I encourage you to try one small change this week. Maybe it's waiting 3 seconds before responding, asking one more follow-up question, having one device-free conversation. Because in the end, listening isn't just something we do with our ears. It's something we do with our entire being. Thank you for listening, truly listening, today. Remember, in a world full of noise, the ability to truly listen is your greatest gift.